would then elect the senator and send them so the state had a check on the federal government. We don't have that now. Would you be opposed to going back to senators being elected by the legislature?
No, I'd rather have them elected by the people. I want to be, I don't like anything where I directly participate in it.
Yeah.
That's my feelings. I believe that every elected position, whether you're a mayor, a city council member, whether you're a congressman, senator, president, or what have you, should be done by the popular vote of he who gets the most votes wins.
Sure. Governor Ventura, this is not a pissing contest. I don't want to say you're wrong. I just want you to hear my point of view. And I'm not even saying I'm right. I'm having a real discussion. You started off with the Hitler parallels, which are very real. But you know, Germany was a pure democracy in 1933, February, whenever he got elected. And that Hitler used that system to get elected and then used it to take up the freedom.
A small group, in the end, a small group of very conservative, very wealthy, powerful men around the president, Paul von Hindenburg. These men were bankers, businessmen, estate owners, high civil servants, army officers, nobles. They convinced the president to appoint Hitler Chancellor of Germany.
Yeah, but Gary Johnson, God love him, his other guys his VP started campaigning for Hillary, for God's sakes. And so my point is, can't we just say Trump's better than Hillary?
I don't know.
Well, you don't think much of Trump, man. Did you read the WikiLeaks?
Alex, no, I can't do that. I can't do it until Donald governs.
Okay, so when you come back from Mexico in 6 months...
Promises, well, I used to have an old buddy in powerlifting, my old training partner, and everybody talked about how much they were going to lift in the meet, and he'd always say to me, remember, champ, talk is cheap. They got to go out and lift it. Well, my point is now, I can't sit and say Trump's better than Hillary. I have to wait and see Trump govern. Then I'll make the decision on whether I thought he would be better than Hillary or not.
Sure.
And you're talking to the true independent here. I didn't have a dog in the fight. I ended up voting for Dr. Stein. See, what bothered me the most was when he picked Pence.
Yeah, well...
That bothered, because when he did that...
Grievous.
That was like, wait a minute, that's the old Republican guard there. And now he's put Pence in charge of transition, which means that's what causes me to question, wait a minute, have they just usurped everything he talked about and now he's just going to be another freaking Republican? Trump's supposedly going to put a guy in charge of the EPA that doesn't think we're polluting it all?
Jesse, this is where the rubber... we're going to break one more segment with you. I'm going to talk about your book in the final segment, but just let me throw this at you. I get that humans are doing GMO and toxic waste dumping and real problems. A carbon tax is a carbon dioxide that the plants breathe. It only shuts off our power plants, Governor. It's not...
The thing is, though, here's the deal, Alex. It's this simple. Scientific fact, undisputable. The more carbon there is in the air, the higher the temperatures will be. And right now, the atmosphere has the most carbon in the air that has ever been recorded. Now, that comes from the earth itself. But certainly a lot of it is gas produced by us. So, to me, it's an important thing.
much from me. I've been trying to bring back the fanny pack for years. I've been nothing but ridicule, shame sent my way.
I find that strange because I'm a huge fan. I have one locked in my hotel right now in the safe. You know, they give you little safes in the room.
Yeah.
Well, I carry my passport in it. I carry the things that I need to travel if I'm doing airline travel, my schedules. I carry 2 sets of reading glasses.
Yeah.
I carry my sunglasses.
Yeah.
What could be better than a fanny pack to carry all that?
Yeah,
I don't have
that sucker.
Well,
drop it in the tray.
I don't have the. I tend to wear my pants a little tight, and I can't put things in the pocket. Things break when they get in the pocket. No, I'm a huge fanny pack advocate. I've worn them now for over 20 years.
Me too.
20 years.
One of ours.
Yep. Happy to take it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
I'm
you.
honored. It's a superior way to carry your stuff.
And I'll put it to use.
Thank you.
Well, and I stated this. In Minnesota, I have legit conceal and carry. Where I can carry a weapon.
Right.
Where do you think I carry it?
In your fanny pack.
Exactly.
That's right. Well, they make fanny packs specifically that Velcro open instantaneously.
Manifesting up, guys.
Well, if I'm not wearing my shoulder holster, it's in my fanny pack.
Do you? How does it work? You're only allowed to conceal carry in Minnesota, and if you go state to state?
No. Many of the states now are honoring the others.
I see.
You got to check though. But generally speaking, if you have concealed pretty much across the country now, for most part, if you have a legitimate conceal and carry in your home state, the other states will likewise honor it. But you can't go to the airport with it.
Right.
Of course, you can't do anything like that with it. You'd have to be driving.
That's one of those subjects where, much like the subject of your book, Marijuana Manifesto, it's one of those subjects where as soon as you bring up that subject, concealed carry, people just go, oh.
Well, it's interesting because I helped shepherd the law through when I was governor in Minnesota because I was mayor of Brooklyn Park first, and I went to my police chief to get conceal and carry, and he denied me. I was the mayor. Because it was up to police chiefs.
But why?
And
What was his grounds?
he don't like it.
Oh, he just didn't like it.
He didn't like it. And so I sat back and thought, wait a minute, this is ridiculous. A police chief shouldn't have that power. It should be uniformly shall issue. If you're qualified, it shouldn't be left up to, because like in Minnesota, if you lived in northern Minnesota, the rural north, you could get a conceal and carry like nothing. Because the police chiefs up there didn't care. But if you lived down in the cities, you couldn't get conceal and carry if you're driving.
That's interesting because it's a state law. That's
No,
bizarre.
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
It was, but it was left up to the police chiefs.
So you went up
So
north.
I went and changed that and made it universal across the state shall issue, but we required you had to go through an accredited gun training course. You had to go to the range and shoot a minimum of 70. You had to have a complete background check done on you, criminal background, everything. And in the case of like you have .08 with alcohol with driving, I made conceal and carry .00.
Well, those are all good.
And if you're carrying your weapon, you are not under the influence of any alcohol, none.
Those are all excellent ideas.
And that's where we passed it. Now, if you qualify for all that, it shall issue.
So what do you stand with the NRA has been, they pushback, I understand why. They pushback against any kind of regulation, any kind of concept, any kind of regulation in regards to background checks, anything like this. They feel like ground loss is lost ground.
And it is. And it is. Where I feel is that let me put it to you this way, life experiences. I was physically in the Philippine Islands. I was physically in the Philippines the day Ferdinand Marcos became dictator. I was there. Well, I was in the U.S. military on the U.S. military base, so it didn't really affect us. I mean, we were going to town and all that, but then you had a soldier on every corner. Well, here's what I'm getting to. He became a dictator and gave himself the power of the president, the Congress, and the Supreme Court. Complete dictatorship. The first thing he did as a dictator, he gave the people of the Philippines a 10 to 12 day grace period to turn in all guns, or it was the death penalty. Now, my question to the people who oppose gun rights or are anti-guns, why would a dictator make his first thing of business to disarm the public? Why would he make that his number one priority?
Well, it's pretty obvious. He doesn't want to run a militia.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people fail to realize our Second Amendment is there for us to defend ourselves against our own government. It's not there for hunting and fishing. When they wrote the Bill of Rights, if you didn't hunt and fish, you didn't eat. That was irrelevant. It was there because the British used to come and occupy our homes, steal our stuff. So the British caused the Second Amendment to happen, to where our forefathers says, no, we're going to allow the people to be able to defend themselves against oppressive government.
So do you think that the opposition to it is just a lack of foresight? Things are very peaceful, it's probably the most safe time ever to be alive, and that people have forgotten that it's entirely possible that tyranny could erupt at any moment.
Maybe so. They could never get together what they wanted was a turnover in Washington. They were sick of business as usual. Let's run these bums out and let's start fresh. That's what their two movements were about.
And what we're seeing day to day, do you think Hillary Clinton is obviously a more rational choice than Donald Trump? She's obviously a person who speaks better, a better representative of people. She's intelligent, she's measured,
Fellowship of Wallstones.
but she's obviously deeply, deeply in bed with the banks and with special interest groups. And this most recent release of emails, it shows that she's done
It's horrible, too, when you get to, like when I did this book and went into the history, what terrifies you there is that the history books wasn't written with the government's view of history that they want you to know. Because what astounded me in doing this book was to learn that marijuana was the economic backbone of this country for its first 160 years of existence. That if George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were alive today, they'd be raided by the DEA, they'd be doing 10 to 12 years in the federal penitentiary for being major drug dealers. Because they both raised massive amounts of marijuana and sold it. And there was a time that England, when we were the colonies, forced us to grow it because they needed it for their sails on their ships and the roads, and so they could colonize the world with their navy. And they forced us to grow it. And here you have a product, and now all the reason that I personally have gotten on the bandwagon, and I've made this a personal focus, is because I have completely lost my quality of life, and marijuana is getting close. Well, I won't say because of privacy, but someone extremely close to me developed epileptic seizures.
And William Randolph Hearst, who owned Hearst Publications, also owned a bunch of paper mills. He owned these
Thousands of acres of timberland.
and they came out with a machine called the decorticator. And the decorticator made it economically easy to process hemp fiber. So they came out with this in the 1930s, and the Popular Science magazine at the time had a cover that said hemp is a $1 billion crop, based entirely on this new invention, the decorticator. Because before that, they used to use slavery, then when the cotton gin came around, they used cotton instead of hemp because it was easier to do.
You know, you're enjoyable because I don't have to say all this.
Well, it's one of those things that I know
You've
you've
done
been
your
telling people
homework.
forever, drives me fucking crazy.
You've done your homework. It's wonderful. Because usually I go on a show, I have to do the explanation.
Yeah.
But with you, I don't have to. You know it already.
Well, William Randolph Hearst was a real piece of shit. You know?
Exactly.
He really was. And he was in charge not just of these paper mills, but he was in charge of disseminating the news. I mean, this guy ran Hearst Publications.
26 newspapers in an all-white-run country.
And
So
he
they used
used
marijuana to raise bait, claim the devil weed, the black smoke, and then they'll rape your daughters and your children, and this and your wives and all that, and lazy Mexicans. That's why they lay around, and these brown-skinned people, these Mexicans, are all smoking pot.
You live in Mexico.
About 4 months out
Who
of the
the
year.
fuck is less lazy than Mexicans? The Mexicans
They're the hardest stand workers I've ever met.
exactly, it is one of the dumbest stereotypes of all time.
I'll
Check
tell-
out Mexican gardeners.
I'll tell you this. I live off the grid. I live where there's no electricity and a hour from pavement and a hour from electricity. A neighbor built a home down there, and I had nothing to do, so I'd go watch it. That's how I live down there. And I watched these Mexican workers build a whole lot of cement from scratch. They didn't have electronic cement mixers. They mixed everything of that cement by hand. And one day I'm watching, the rebar. 2 guys had to bend rebar by hand, jerking on it with a pipe. What is that, a 45 or 90-degree angle, whatever it was? Point was, I started laughing and I said, you know, if you brought the American construction worker down here, he'd quit in a day. He would quit in a day, because all they do is deliver raw materials, and these Mexican builders would build cement houses out of nothing, out of raw material, without a bit of electricity.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mexico.
I love it down there. I love the food. I love the people. I love the life I lead down there because it's the exact opposite of here. Down there, I live off the grid and I only pay attention to what I can see.
That's nice. That's
It's
relaxing.
called flushing your brain out.
My family lives down there. My parents do. Yeah, they decided to chill out down in Mexico. Do the retirement thing.
I'll tell you what else is great, the taxes. And we always laugh at the Mexican government, oh, they're corrupt, they're this and that. On property taxes, they are way superior to us. You know how it works down there? Here, at least in Minnesota, which is pretty much universal, if you buy a home and you're a good citizen and you fix the home up and improve it, how do they reward you? You pay more.
Right.
Your taxes go up for being a good citizen. So using their analogy, you should buy the house, let it become a shithole on the block, and they'll reward you. You'll pay less. Here's how it works in Mexico. Mexico, your taxes are due in taxes. If I pay them in January early, they knock off 20%. If I pay them in February, they knock off 10%. I go down January 28th. February is a short month. So in 30 days, I get 20% on my money legally. Tell me where I can do that.
That's pretty beautiful.
20% in 30 days. Now, granted, it's only a couple $100 because property taxes are cheap there anyway. But that's a couple tanks of gas for my pickup truck.
Do you feel weird living down there?
Not a bit.
Not at all?
No,
No?
I don't even know the language.
You don't know Spanish?
Nah,
Why don't you know that?
because I've never taken time to bother. I get by.
What do you do when you're down there? You just barely
Between,
talk to people?
between look at no, look not Ola. That's high. I see. I know a little bit now. No. You look at any Mexican, smile at him, and say cerveza.
Oh.
And you'll get a smile back, cerveza. See.
Oh, so you're just getting hammered all the time.
No, you just say beer to them. They love to drink beer. So that'll smooth out any situation. Just smile and say cerveza.
Most people don't know also that almost all drugs are decriminalized in Mexico in response to the drug laws and the drug war.
Starting to get there.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court ruled on 4 people, but only those 4 people can grow and have pot. It takes 3 more cases before it becomes the law.
Yeah, I don't think it's legal, but it's decriminalized. Like mushrooms are decriminalized.
President Fox, who was my friend, he came out and said he wants it decriminalized. He said, I'm a rancher farmer, I want to grow it.
You're friends with the president?
Yeah. I knew both of them. So Fox and who was before him? I went to the trade mission.
Oh, and that's how you found out about
Fox and I actually established a trade thing in Minnesota via Mexico. Because when I was down in Mexico, they took me to the Corona brewery. And when they took me there were pallets of corn, all from Minnesota.
Corn from Minnesota to make Corona beer.
I was gonna say, I would assume that like Corona is such a weak beer. I would assume it's probably grown in America.
No, it's corn, but it's United States corn. It's Minnesota corn that
Gluten
makes
free.
Corona.
Yeah, gluten free. Like if you're one of those gluten free fucks, you can have a Corona. This is one of the few beers. I think Heineken too. Some rice based beers. Budweiser actually.
Yeah. Corona, they get all their corn from Minnesota.
So you just cerveza it up back there?
No, I don't even drink.
You don't drink?
No.
So why do you say cerveza? For your friends?
Well, because that means beer in Mexican, and
Right.
all the Mexicans love beer.
Oh, I see.
That's
But
why
don't-
if you just smile and say cerveza at them, you'll get a cerveza, see?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not asking for
No,
it.
I'm not
Okay.
asking. I'm just doing it to be friendly.
Oh, okay.
Chết rồi, chơi tôi. Tính ra thì để tôi tính ra. Bây giờ ngồi lên xe vậy? Có xe không? Mấy ơi, đấy chỗ tao chấm nhờ. Cái đấy. Chấm vàng không phải chấm cam đâu, vàng. Tiếp. Ớt mày đâu? Ê mày số mấy?
With
cái tàu. Tao số 4. Cũng gần nhau đấy. Thế rồi cho tao 2 thằng. Cháu gì đấy? Tao đang ở số mấy? Ủa chết rồi, tao bị bắn rồi. Tao chết cái ao ơi. Tao đéo được. Bố mày đéo được. Không sao, em mình có mấy thằng đỉnh mà. Cứ bắn đi. Cứ bắn. Em mình đỉnh mà. Ôi rồi đằng sau tao làm sao? Đằng sau không đéo nhìn thấy bố mày đâu. Tử này nhìn thấy thế á rồi. Tìm nhà đi, nhặt đồ đi. Rồi cái chạy đây. Nhưng mà cái nhà của mày. Không phải nhà của tao, mấy nhà dưới đồi ấy, Đấy, cái hướng mày đang đi chọn đấy. Đang nhìn gì luôn. À. Cái đây có nhà đằng trước kìa. Đâu. Đang nhìn gì cả? Đấy, anh lù như thế không nhìn thấy à? Đây. Không sao tối thế nhỉ? Để tao tao bật. Vào trong nhà đi, tao không biết đâu. Thôi đừng có mày xem này. Tôi cây đéo gì thế. Kệ nó, đưa vào đi. Đặt đi. Được rồi. Ui gì vậy? Đừng nhắc nữa. Ở đây có người thôi. Gõ mỏi gì. Chạy đi. Ở đây có người gặp rồi. Chạy đi. Nhanh. Đây, đúng rồi, đi mẹ chạy như. Chạy như chó này á. Để xem chỗ nào. Đây. Chạy ra chỗ chấm vàng kìa. Lên xe máy. Chấm vàng nào? Lên xe máy mày. Quay lại lên xe máy. Em đi. Mày điên à? Đừng đi hết. Mẹ bây giờ sống sát chết bà rồi không đi à. Rồi đi chấm vàng kìa. Chấm vàng kìa. Chấm vàng đâu? Đúng. Đúng nói kìa. Đây. Đấy kia đấy. Thấy chưa? Thấy cái chấm trên bản đồ chưa? Đừng đặt chấm ấy xong rồi đặt đồ. Con mèo ơi ngã rồi. Đặt kéo thôi. Thôi xuống đi. Vào trong nhà nhặt đồ đi. Tao chỉ cho mày đừng đi. Ở đây không có người đâu. Cứ đặt đi. Sao biết? Đấy tao đoán thế thôi. Chứ nếu có người thì mày chết rồi. Không có gì nhặt à? Mẹ chọn cho cái chỗ đéo là gì? À đây có xe. Đấy. Trước ra trong một khẩu. Vào trong kia còn mà. Đằng sau. Mèo ơi. Đâm mình. Đâm rồi. Mình. Đâm rồi. Vậy. Sao không thấy đấy? Tao nghĩ mày nên đi với nó. Đi với nó. Thằng này bắn hay ấy. Trông có vẻ xanh rượu. Thằng này nó có vẻ áo xanh rượu. Thế mày thấy tao không xanh rượu à? Cái mấy áo của mày nó vứt đi rồi nó không hết. Đi với nó đi. Chị anh đợi tao với. Đợi mình với. Đéo đợi đâu. Tao nghe thấy tiếng súng. Bây giờ nó ngồi thì mày cũng phải ngồi xuống. Ôi ở đây có xác người này. Ở đây bắn nhau này. Xuống xuống. Đi nó chạy đây kìa. Nhặt cái đó gì nữa. Không nhặt đâu. Đấy. Mày chuẩn bị như vậy chỗ chết rồi. Có đâu với bạn rồi. Bạn ơi. Mấy thằng này ở Đức mẹ. Có phải không? Coi có Đức à? Hấp à?
The evidence was overwhelming. The jury they came for me. They said he was lied, this didn't happen, and were awarded.
Why do you think he did it?
graduating the next day on Friday, I came out along with my teammates from class 58
giant hit movie, very patriotic movie about a guy who was one of the most successful snipers in U.S. history, right? Very successful warrior, Navy SEAL, war hero. Everybody loved him. Then he goes on the Opie and Anthony show, and he said, he punched you out.
Well, there's a chapter in his book.
Yes.
Where he writes that he called me scruff face.
Yeah.
And he said that I said SEALs deserve to die. That, in other words, he accused me of treason.
Yes.
And I was out there for SEAL graduation.
Ê, bạn Đức Đại ơi. Ồ, bạn chết rồi à? Ôi, nhưng mà bạn sợ vãi đái mà chứ bắn đâu trước mặt tao à? Bắn lắm mà vãi vãi cái bạn. Sợ gì cứ ra đi. Bạn. Ê, đồng đội làm sao? Đồng đội làm sao? Đội mình như đây, đội mình như đây. Đội mình ngay cạnh mày. Mình chết hết rồi nhá. Đội mình còn mỗi tao với thằng nào đấy. Đi đâu thằng đấy? Thằng đấy cũng sắp chết rồi. Ừ, thằng đấy chết rồi sao đâu? Thằng đấy bắn hay mà. Đúng. Không chịu mày luôn. Nó đang ở trước mặt tao vậy. Thằng này đồ đẹp vãi. Tôi tin thằng này bắn hay. Nó sẽ gánh. Dạ. Cái gì à? Ê, trước mặt có thằng nha. Đừng bó nữa, đừng bó nữa. Đừng bó nữa. Đây. Nói kìa, đừng bó nữa. Ngồi yên, nắm yên. Bó nữa chết đấy con ạ. Đây rồi. Đấy, mẹ thằng Sán hay cái kia rồi. Dạ. Ta đi. Đừng chán tôi ra. Đừng bó. Đi để ra. Làm gì đấy mày. Tao làm biết rồi. Ba thằng gì kìa mày biết à? Chết rồi mày chết. Có bắn không? Mày chết rồi. Con chết. Trời cha mày đứng dậy. Cuối cùng mình vậy. Ôi, mỗi mày được cộng điểm mới.
And what's worse about it is the media jumps on it and convicts me of it because why? They broke the story when I went off the grid in Mexico where I couldn't even come back.
So they broke the story. You think they knew?
I'm starting to believe it.
But didn't it happen on the Opie and Anthony show?
Yeah.
But I don't think
but was the whole, well, they also did it, he did it that day on O'Reilly later that afternoon.
So once he named you, he just started naming them.
Oh yeah, then it went viral. It went viral. And everyone convicted me because they said, well, this Iraq war veteran wouldn't lie. Really?
I watched,
well, let me tell you what, it's destroyed my life. I can't get hired for a job. During my trial, after it was over, guess what happened? 34 major media conglomerates entered the trial with that amici, they call it, or whatever, of influencing the Court of Appeals to overturn my verdict, and they did it. 34 media conglomerates, the New York Times, the Washington Post, all of these media conglomerates appealed to the Court of Appeals to overturn my verdict.
But why?
because I won on something called unjust enrichment. They want the ability to be able to defame you and profit from it. In other words, I'll put it, what these judges accommodated them with, there's going to be another trial. They've ordered a new trial. So I got to go through it again. But I'm glad, because when it comes out 2 juries and 2 judges find Kyle guilty, who's not going to believe it then? They've ordered a new trial. They threw out the whole verdict of the jury, the federal judge who wrote substantial evidence supporting the jury. And they violated their own rules. A 76-year rule. Here's the judge allowed it in. My attorney, it ended up 4 questions in an 11-day trial and it was overturned on that. And they overturned it because they felt there was undue influence on the jury, that they found out that insurance was paying for everything. So it's perfectly one factor. Well, and here's the deal. If the rules state that if in final argument they say something, you must object. You must object so the trial lawyer has a chance to rule, and the jury has a chance to hear the ruling. They never objected.
So they must object to undue influence because of the fact that it was.
They never objected. The jury was dismissed at 11:58. At 12:02, they then objected. The judge overruled them, and we were done with it. Well, these 2 judges, Riley and Shepard, have now overturned the case on something that was never objected to in trial. They objected to it, so they overturned the jury and the federal judge. Then they also overturned my unjust enrichment claim because the media didn't want it. What they've allowed now is the media can defame you and profit from it, and you can't get any of their profits, no matter how they harm you. Well, that's the equivalent of if you went out and robbed the bank and they caught you and they sentenced you to 2 years in prison for the bank robbery, but when you get out, you get to keep all the money you took.
So that's in this particular case.
Yes, which will now be the standard, because they've ruled that way. They now make it to where you can profit from wrongdoing
Because of this case.
Yep.
Of people, because people are not simple.
It's really
They're
not touchy. He lied.
He did lie, but
And he harmed me with his lie.
But that's not what I'm saying. What's complicated is he's also the subject of this gigantic movie and this symbol of patriotism, where so many people will say, Chris Kyle, rest in peace. So many people would have, I saw a cloud that was, someone took a photo in the cloud. That's not a cloud, that's Chris Kyle. It looked like a sniper in the cloud. It's Chris Kyle guarding the skies. And he's playing this thing where it was representative of the brave military, like the portrayal that Bradley Cooper played in that movie. That movie was so simplistic and so it was
Had I not gone to court,
it's not just a villain, way more than a villain.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that is insane. It is insane because what's crazy to me and what's complicated about this is that there are thousands and thousands of brave men and women that risk their lives, sacrifice their lives, and this guy becomes this figure. He rises above. He rises above all this and becomes this
icon figure.
Yes, this iconic figure that you can't tarnish. And then truth is irrelevant, and they're willing to iconic figure that you can't tarnish. And then truth is irrelevant, and they're willing to sacrifice people like you and the truth just for this overall image.
Marcinko.
When you sat down and you're talking to this guy, how much time were you actually in the room with him?
Oh, a couple of minutes was all. The minute he looked me in the eye and said, "I sure did hit you," I turned to the judge and said, "We got nothing more to talk about."
You didn't want
I even offered him. I said, "If you will walk out to be with the press and admit you fabricated this story, I will forgive you in front of the press and we will go on with our lives." He would not do it. He did not have the courage to stand up and tell the truth.
It takes a lot of courage to admit you lied about something that massive. I mean, this isn't lying about speeding, right? This is a massive, massive
What
lie.
about ruining my life, ruining my reputation, ruining my wife's life? I lost my conspiracy theory show because of it.
Really?
I can't get hired. Right now, I can't get a job. My last job was on the internet at Aura TV because the owner's Carlos Slim from Mexico. From that, you know who I'm hired? You know who I work for now? The Russians. Russian TV RT's the only people that'll hire me because 34 media conglomerates entered this case to overturn me. You think they're going to hire me?
Now explain that. Why do you think they did that? Do you think they did that because if they overturn your case, if they can somehow or another...
Because they don't want to have to fact check.
But is that it? Or is that discrediting you? That was a gigantic hit movie. But
Bullshit, man.
If they can discredit you, it makes that movie still valuable.
Not only that, it stops me from running for president, don't it, if they can discredit me.
Do you want to run for president?
I thought about it.
Even living in Mexico?
Well,
would you do it from Mexico?
I would have had to have forsaken that. That's why I didn't do it. The
reason why you didn't run for president is because you would have had to have forsaken living in Mexico.
I would have
Right now, you might fucking win.
I know. I think I could have won. No, the Libertarians contacted me twice to come to their convention. They wanted to nominate me.
Jesse, come back to America.
And
come.
And I chose not to do it because I was up for the campaigning. I was up to taking on the Dems and Repubs. But at this point, at age 65, I wasn't up to do the job for 4 years, where I'd have to end my lifestyle in Mexico. Because people don't realize, when you get one of them jobs like president or governor, your freedom leaves that day. You don't have freedom. You're 24/7. You're bodyguarded 24/7 every day. You have no freedom whatsoever. I couldn't go in 100% on that, and I felt that if I to go for president, you have to be 100% committed to do the job. If you're not, you're cheating yourself. You're cheating all the people that voted for you. If you're not 100% committed, I could not reach 100%, so I chose not to.
So is this because of your own personal feelings about living in Mexico and having freedom, relaxation,
and enjoying the quality of life?
And also, I knew what would happen to me if I looked like I was going to win. I would be politically assassinated. They would pull up everything they could on me. You know, one of the things they missed, which I laugh about today when I ran for governor, they never found it out, and I've admitted it since, so it'll show up now. But they never found out, because I'm sure they would have tried to use it, even though it's irrelevant. If I'd have gone for president, they would have. You know what that is? But I used to be sergeant at arms of the Mongols Motorcycle Club.
Really? What does that mean? What's sergeant at arms? Just a guy carrying
Third in command.
The Mongols are some fucking...
Those really terrible news shows where they do reenactments of
Well, the Mongols are strong here in Southern California. We're the black and white. We're the ones that fought war with the hell.
What's the black and white?
That's our colors.
Oh, okay.
The Angels are red and white.
Oh.
The Mongols are black and white.
Did you guys have shootouts with the Angels occasionally?
Yeah.
Do you have one of those jackets?
Yeah, I had that at home. No, I was an officer, so I was allowed to keep mine.
So what does that mean? Like, what did you guys do?
At that time, it was 1973. I rode Harleys, and I was still in the Navy. I used to leave the base and put my colors on.
But what, like sergeant at arms, what does that mean? You had to carry guns?
No, sergeant at arms. You got the president of the chapter. You got the vice president. Third is the sergeant at arms. Fourth is the secretary. It's very militaristic.
Nobody wants to be a secretary.
Yeah, you do. That makes you an officer.
Job.
No, but you keep track of all the money and stuff.
But what the fuck do you do? Like, do you just
You
drive
ride
around?
bikes and party.
Why do you need all that those rankings and file and all that jazz?
because it's a club. It's like the Elks. They have presidents of the Elks Club.
Right.
They have presidents of whatever other stuff there is.
But the Elks Club doesn't get in gang wars with the Moose Club. You know
Well, you never know.
You never know. They
You
might.
never know.
It might get crazy.
A turf war could happen.
Right?
You
Like
don't
the
know.
Navy and the Army might duke it
Yeah.
out. The Elks
Yeah.
and the Moose Club.
And in my day, a lot of the outlaw bikers were former military.
Yes, and that was a big thing with the Hells Angels.
Yeah,
and
because you came
discontent people
home,
coming back from
you
Vietnam.
wanted your camaraderie, you wanted a brotherhood,
Right.
you wanted. I did
And
it.
they felt disenfranchised, right?
I did it more for the adventure. I was getting out of the SEALs. I'd done 2 tours, 17 months in Southeast Asia. I was going to transition into private life. I was riding a Harley. My 2 buddies that I'd ridden with a year earlier were now full patch Mongols when I came back from my second deployment.
Let me pretend to be a douchebag politician running against you here.
Yeah.
I would say, are you really prepared to have a former sergeant of arms from the Mongols Motorcycle Club running the United States of America? I don't think so, ladies and gentlemen.
And I would counter that and say, nobody messes with the Mongols, nobody will mess with the U.S.
Well, that's you mess with the Mongols, though. They don't really.
No, they
I think
don't.
I would have to help you.
No,
with that
they
speech.
don't.
Let's not do that.
No, they don't.
They do mess with the Mongols, right?
Who
Don't they
does?
have wars? Don't they have those guys don't they shoot it out in like Texas steakhouses and shit? Didn't they have
Ours was Nevada.
That was when was that?
That was back in 02.
Yeah, but there was a big one a couple of years ago, right?
Not with us.
Wasn't with the Mongols,
I
with
don't
us.
think
So
so.
you're saying us, like you're still with them, huh?
There.
Is it like a Marine? You're a Marine for life, that kind of
Yeah.
thing? You got a card on you?
Yeah.
What are you just gonna pull out his goddamn Mongol card? I don't believe this.
Arabada mı kaldın? Arabadan mı atlamadın? Devam.
Pull out a Mongol card.
Let's see.
Right next to his Disneyland Year Pass.
Let's see here. I gotta find it now because I tuck it away. No, I actually.
You have a Mongol card. I would think that you would need a tattoo. I would say, listen, bitch, if you really want to be down for life, we're gonna get you a tattoo.
I already have a tattoo.
Of the Mongols?
No.
What is it? Like a
Of
UDT tattoo?
The SEALs.
Yeah.
I have the Budweiser Trident and.
You try and find your Mongol card. How many of those cards you actually?
There's mine,
Look at that.
and there's the card from Geo. The Hollywood Prez gave me his last time I saw him.
Bam, motherfuckers! Legit. Too legit to quit. That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
And my name was.
I don't know. What was your name?
Find it on there. You never go by your real name.
Superman?
Superman.
Super? Why did they call you Superman?
Because I was in such a physical specimen that when I was prospecting, they make you do push-ups and stuff, and I liked it.
Oh, so this is back in before the Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh yeah, this is back when I was transitioning out of the SEALs into civilian life. And in fact, there's a good transition I can tell you about that shows how a book should do due diligence before they write something. There was a book written by William Freeman who infiltrated the Mongols. It's called Under the Line, and he infiltrated them and put like 25 of them in prison. In the book, they wrote that Governor Jesse Ventura, blah, 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 right? But you know what they did? Before the book was published, they sent me an entire copy of the book. They said, Governor, please read this, and if you have any problems, call us. So I read the book. I didn't hide from years, unlimited mileage, and in that 8-year period, any improvements made to the car, you get free.
It's a digital upgrade.
Anything.
That's amazing.
For 8 years. So 8 years, you could own the Tesla for 8 years, and so I'm doing an ad for it. You could own a Tesla for 8 years, and the car you own 8 years from now will be identical to whatever they're selling new.
Yeah, I drove one for a day. There's a, what is that fucking company called? Skirt. Yeah, there's a company called Skirt, and it's like a rental, you drive for a day.
Yeah.
Or when, as long as you need it. And my issue was that the battery just ran out way too quick for me. So what I do is
See, for me, it ain't, because I live in Minnesota and I know that I'm 65 now. I don't need to be trapped. I've got, you know something else shocking? I never owned a cell phone and I never will. I'm convinced.
We need more horsepower.
I don't have a cell phone. I never will. Are you kidding? I was out in New York. I was out in New York doing this book tour, and I forget, I was at Sirius. And we were in the green room. And there were 10 people in that green room. 9 of the 10 I sat there the whole time and doing things with the phone. They did that to sell more books. Politicians blame us for the war. In the 20th getting ready to leave the stage. And a final reporter asked him, Mr. President, did you consult your father? And we're seeing it. And I'll never forget George Bush's American people smiling and going, I was sitting in my
He's saying you consulted a higher
father.
It's like going up to a rock and asking the rock what you should do with your life, but you're not getting any answers
Oh,
back.
excuse me. And then I said, I've been on the earth as long as this guy. I'm twice the man George Bush is. And God ain't never said a word to me in my entire existence. Yet this guy wants me to believe God talks to him.
Yeah, they just let that go. They didn't say
that was
God
just
talked to me, they
amazing.
just let that slide.
Oh, yeah.
You consulted God.
He consulted a higher father.
We'll be right back.
So in other words, he wants us to believe that his invasion of Iraq had God's blessing. And all the people of this country accept that.
It's one of those convenient acknowledgments.
And Jesse Ventura can say it because I've come out of the closet.
You come out of the closet.
I'm an atheist.
You're an atheist in that you don't believe in
I don't believe
any
in a higher
power,
being.
nothing.
No.
Ain't selling me on that.
Do you
Not
believe
till
in the
there's
possibility of something happening when you die?
No,
You don't. You think
No.
if you die, you just go dark?
I don't know.
That's
Yeah.
a wrap.
That's around. There's no proof that anything else happens. Just a belief, or just a belief. And to me, I don't believe it because, like I said, I've been on the planet 65 years now, and God's never spoke to me. If I'm wrong, people say, well, what if you're wrong? I'll say, well, God made me with a brain to think, didn't he? He's going to condemn me because I used it?
Well, religion in a sense is pretty ridiculous. The idea that God came to people a long fucking time
Well,
ago when they
here's
didn't
the
even have
deal.
books. He
Did you-
told everybody about the world.
Have you
and
heard
then
about
wanted
Horus?
everybody to just pass it down.
Do you know about Horus?
Sure.
Well, Horus was an Egyptian guy who was the identical
Pingu
same was Jesus.
Pingu the
He
goat.
predates him by a couple hundred years.
Pingu
So
the
who's
goat.
the real
Okay.
one? They did this. They were both born of a virgin. They both walked on water, allegedly. They both healed the sick. They both were crucified and buried, rose again from the dead. Jesus did it, and so did Horus.
Well, there's a ton of parallels throughout history.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a believer.
Well, I'm not
Because-
a believer in
because-
anything that ancient people said about communicating with higher powers and passing. Carrying the same kind of two different types of cloth. You can be put to death for wearing two different types of cloth. You know, most people know that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really fucking goofy ones. Well,
Yeah.
how about the story of who was the gentleman in the Bible where he was bald and two children mocked him for his baldness? So God sent two bears to attack the kids and maul them and kill them. That's in the Bible.
Yeah, that's Old Testament stuff.
Yeah, make fun of a bald guy like you and me.
Yeah.
And a fucking bear comes and kills kids.
Where do you
Jesus
find
Christ.
Where do you find these bears? I'd like to locate them.
But I mean,
Because
what
I've
kind
sure
of a
been
God
made.
is that?
No, I've been made fun of enough. Could I have a couple of attack bears then? The next guy that makes fun of us.
But it's what a fucking ridiculous thing to say and to put that in the Bible. Like the fact that two kids can make fun of you being bald, and so God punishes those kids by having a fucking bear.
How about the fact that they tell you that the world's find out there's God. See the light.
Just how you bet.
Yeah.
Look, if there's no
Yeah. Get your ass back. Get your ass. Hey, watch out. Some guys trying to run me over, dude. Help me. Look at this guy. You missing me? You missing me? This guy trying to run me over. God dang it, dude. No, come on. Come on. Guys, come to me, guys. Easy. He's gonna run me over. Easy.
Democrats and Republicans is a system based upon the concept of bribery. Now, if you do bribery in the private sector, you go to prison. But in the public sector, it's completely alive and well. That's why I don't trust any career politician, because that means they're comfortable in a system of bribery, a corrupt system. And if they're comfortable to work in that corrupt system for all those years, that means they're corrupt too.
You can win. I mean, you're one of the few independents that literally could win. I mean, especially now. Like, if you see what's going on now with Trump and the
You never did things the traditional way. So why should school be any different? Want to become an auto or diesel tech?
What's up, boy? You speak English or what? Where you from? You know where you from? You got mic? Steph, here's my challenge for you, okay? Don't do it. I know we're playing a Grandmaster lobby and it's overwhelming, but just try your best.
He's Italian. He cannot understand more.
Oh, he can't understand.
Wait, what is this?
Ciao.
I don't understand this.
Have you ever had nowhere to go? Late nights on the road on your own. Only thing on my mind is get to the dough. Had a nightmare, fans kicking the door. Paranoid everywhere that I go. Everyone you see with me, they bustin' for me. If I point at you, then they gon' go for me. Every time we pull up, we get in straight. We promote the violence, ain't no keeping the peace. I'm on hot boy, oh yeah. I know I'm a shot town gangster.
not in the code. That's what I thought. ¿Eso, güey? No, creo que son los puntos.
Ignites. A fan stokes the fire and creates convection so that food cooks evenly and consistently for great results every single time. That means no more babysitting. Just set it and forget it. Spend time with people instead of your grill. So pour in the pellets, grab a cold one, and leave those other grills behind. It's time to start enjoying the superior flavor, ease of use, and foolproof results you get with a Traeger. Are you ready to experience the wood-fired flavor you've been missing? Then stop grilling and start Traeger. Grill, smoke, bake, roast, braise, and barbecue. It's so versatile, you can cook just about anything you want on a Traeger. Best of all, you don't have to babysit your grill, because Traeger does all the work for you. So call or go online now.
Mary never cheat me. Mary not the best.
trees. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me. Could be your mans, or be your fan, or be your kin, pay your dues. Man, I gotta choose whether I lose or win this for a friend. Can't determine the difference. The instance they see you picking, they pussy be leaking fluid. My nigga, what is you doing? No black in the back of a Buick. And I'm sadistic and sitting as I make murderous music. We don't got the same thing, I don't bother confusing. So much stressing on my brain, mama think I'ma lose it. Human vagabond, who's that stole their panties in my carry-on? Why you hating niggas acting nonchalant? Honest, fuck your publications, they say I'm a third wheel architect. Build your mindset, stress but won't squeal. Oh yes, I smoke kill, I'm cracked. You smoke reels, I pack, you don't deal. In fact, I'm so chill. I'm never on the prevent. 6 stitches to your image, not offended when you call me genius. All that means is so much pain. Unzip the bag, dip in my hand, then I palm trees. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me. So when you throw shade, it could never harm me. Pull up with choppers and little niggas. Fuck all that drippin', these rap niggas, shootin' niggas. Left the Percocet out the system. Talk about sticks. Nigga, why the fuck did y'all get these niggas? You went to college and rapping about bitch, my nigga, and you soft on the business, nigga. She said your pussy and you pay a realer, nigga. I'm back on that nigga shit. They pulling the 33, I'm back on realer shit. They romping and killing shit. They hanging the
motherfucker me, copycat.
You never did things the traditional way. So why should school be any different? You want to become an auto or diesel tech? We'll help you get there. Faster, smarter.
Real quick. You know I had to go crazy on this shit. She ain't the one for me. I know that little hoe eat up. I ain't gonna spend my money on her, homie. You can keep her up and do a hit with all the beans. We keep that between us. And I don't sleep. Yeah, I be creeping like I'm Jeep creeping. I just wanna put you down in rings. Play like a chicken wing. I know some killers in these streets that
No pares, no pares, no pares, no pares.
I don't